Welcome to the latest Indie Dev Showcase, highlighting the many demos and developer-submitted games we play here. If you submit a game for a future video and stream, please get in touch. But we are beginning things with the game Advent Neon. And this was a demo that we played during one of the next fests. And this is, as you can tell by the footage, very much in the high-speed platformer-esque form of a Sonic the Hedgehog-like. Now, where the game kind of mixes things up is with the variety of movements and abilities you have. Instead of powering abilities, when you dodge precisely, you freeze time. You have your own dedicated melee-based combat system, as well as being able to dash in multiple directions. As you collect various neons, you'll build up your neon meter, and when it hits 100%, you kind of go, I guess, quote-unquote, supersonic for a few seconds. But the game definitely draws similarities to kind of the golden age of Sega Genesis platformers, where each level will have a different variety of obstacles and goals. There are boss fights and all that other great stuff. And movement, of course, is a huge point of the game. So from the demo that we played, everything seems to be working its way well towards this kind of design. If you're not a fan of high-speed platformers, Advent Neon may not be quite for you. But if you're someone who did grow up and love these Sonic-likes and Genesis platformers, then definitely check this one out, and I believe the demo is still available. We now turn to A Tale of Paper. This is another demo that we played, and what we have here is a puzzle platformer. You play as the character Line, who is an animated piece of paper who must go on an adventure. And the entire kind of motif of this game is figuring out how to get around as this tiny paper character. You'll unlock the ability to transform into different forms, each with their own movement tech, and of course ability to solve puzzles. Enemies are of course the standards of, I guess, paper, including evil Roombas, water, and more. Now the game does feature different collectibles you can find, and of course there will be unlockables and things along those elements. From what we played of this demo on stream, it seems like it's kind of in that similar vein of what we've seen with the Little Nightmares kind of focus on puzzle platforming, where you'll need to be at least reasonably good at platforming in order to solve this game, but for A Tale of Paper in particular, it still is definitely more about the puzzle solving. From what I played, overall I like this game, but from the demo, it's still kind of hard to tell where things are going to go in terms of depth or difficulty. Whether we're going to be getting a lot more challenging puzzles, or if this is going to be kind of the extent of it. If you are a puzzle platformer fan, I would say check this one out. I believe the demo is still available. But if you don't like these kinds of games, I don't think A Tale of Paper is going to change your mind in that respect. For our next game, this is Night of Exile, another demo that we played. And this is an action-adventure Metroidvania that hits all the usual staples of the genre, but also comes with some gorgeous pixel art to boot. So, for this game, you're going to be doing all the hacking, slashing, exploring as we've seen. You have a full inventory made up of consumables and other items that you can hunt around, find, and buy. And this is, again, one of those games that you'll know within a few minutes of play whether or not you're all in or getting out of it. As you play through, you'll solve various puzzles, find different weapons and abilities, as well as explore for all manner of mysteries and so on. This is one of those games that really there isn't a lot for me to say from this demo, simply by the fact that if you like action-adventure Metroidvania games, this one is definitely going to be for you. From what I played, I really don't have any real solid nitpicks or issues with it. It can be a little bit difficult in some respect when you're making certain jumps, just due to how the camera doesn't really pan or give you that much motion. But of course, with this being a demo, things could have been improved or altered in wherever it's at now. But this one is definitely an easy recommendation. If you do enjoy action-adventure games, then you really do want to check out the demo that's still available, and I am certainly looking forward to playing this one when it is released. But with that said, we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we have 3 more games for the showcase. And as always, if you're interested in my thoughts on design, then check out my game design books. For entry-level students, we have 20 essential games to study, and then the Game Design Deep Dive series that takes an extensive look at different genres, with free-to-play coming in 2022. We're back to platforming with the demo for Pale Knight. But where our last game was more of a puzzle platformer, this is on the hardcore side. So our big mode here, our system, is that light is death. And as our little cube here must explore, they must stay out of any light source lest they get melted, as you see right there. That also means that you'll have to use shadows and how platforms move and block light in order to make it through these environments. There are hidden collectibles to find, and this is definitely on the trickier side. You have, as you can see, moving, jumping, wall jumping, and all that you'll be able to make use of to avoid the different things. Now, the challenge of the game, again, is that you have very little or very precise control over how your character jumps, and you'll have to make use of that in order to make it from checkpoint to checkpoint. You only have 1 point of health, and that means, of course, that you're going to have to be really reliant on the checkpoints in order to make any real progress. Now, there are boss fights, at least according to this demo, and that also means you'll have to do sections where you'll need to survive many different obstacles without the luxury of checkpoints in between the different areas. So this is definitely a game meant for hardcore platformer fans. And if you don't like that kind of one hit and you're dead challenge, then this game may not be quite for you. But if you are a fan of challenging platformers, then I would definitely check out Pale Knight. We now turn to the demo for Sail Forth. And this is a game that begs to ask the question, what if we combine The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker with Sid Meier's Pirates and a touch of roguelike? So this is a sea-based kind of action roguelike game where you'll be exploring the seas looking for treasures, fighting pirates, and of course, trying to upgrade your boat for more treasure hunting, pirate busting, and more. Now, while the game doesn't feature 100% accurate physics, it does feature a lot of the simulated sailing or wind-based physics for this genre. So you'll need to adjust your sails accordingly based on the direction the wind is coming from to affect how fast and maneuverable your boat is. All the while, you'll also have to be managing your cannons, shooting at bad guys, and of course trying not to crash into rocks like someone else I know did a whole lot during this demo. So the procedural nature comes in by the fact that you go from kind of area to area, each with its own specific elements to it. You'll find shops, patrolling boats, etc. And your job is to, again, just complete all the areas and not sink in the process. All in all, from the demo, despite being bad at this and terrible at singing sea shanties, I enjoy this one. If you like sailing-based games or ship-based combat like this, definitely check this one out. For our last indie game, this is the demo for Jupiter Moon's Mecha, a deck-building roguelike where our main twist is that instead of controlling a character or a ship, we control a giant mech. And our mission is to stop, I believe, some kind of evil virus or takeover of all the other mechs in the galaxy. And to do that, we are going to play lots of cards and shoot lots of lasers at things. So, similar to something like Deep Sky Derelicts, your quote-unquote deck is made up of the individual cards of all the pieces that you equip to your mech. Each piece can give you different cards of various rarities, abilities, etc. You need to manage not only the overall health of your mech, but also the health of each individual part, and your actual mech from overheating. If your mech overheats, you'll start to take damage for each card you play, but you can also have cards that can proc or gain special effects while you're overheated. Now, the footage that you are seeing is taken from the demo, I believe about 2 or 3 festivals ago. So what you see may not represent what is in the current demo or build of the game. I believe the demo for this one is still available, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So for this, I like what I was seeing. My main concern with games like this, especially with so many Slay the Spire likes as we've talked about before, is where the game is going to go in terms of the depth and challenge over the course of playing it, how many runs we're going to go. I know the developer was talking about having additional difficulties and challenges, and I would say this is a very interesting one. I like kind of like the Deep Sky Derelict model that you build your mech or you build your deck out of the gear or equipment. And from what we could see from demo, there is going to be quite a variety of things that can be equipped, which will again all add or manipulate your deck. If you're not tired of deck building roguelikes just yet, I would say definitely keep an eye out for Jupiter Moon's Mecha. But if you're one of the many people who cannot play another card in a roguelike, then I don't know if this game is going to do anything to change your mind in that respect. But with that said, we're going to wrap up the showcase here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you'd like to submit a game for a future stream and video, please reach out. You'll find links to all the games in the description down below. Be sure to join our Discord and check out the Patreon. And come back for daily discussions on game design here and on game wisdom, where it's in the art and science of games. Until next time, take care.